Question one. Question one is a topic about proportion. Okay, so it will take 7 workers 6 days to pick some mangoes. How many workers are needed to pick these mangoes in 3 days? Okay, so there are different ways of solving this. This is a problem of proportion. There are different ways of solving it, but I use means of comparison to solve. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to have 7 workers equivalent to 6 days. Then how many workers? So we now call X workers to be equivalent to 3 days. So I'm going to multiply this and multiply this. So that will give me 7 times 6 to be equivalent to X times 3. So when you divide this by 3, divide this by 3, you have this. This give you this one will give you 2. 7 times 2 will give you 14 equals to X. So that will give us about 14 workers. Okay, question 2. Most of these problems that has just 1 mark to solve, one can actually solve it with your calculator, because in this particular paper, you're allowed to use your calculator. Okay, so you can use your calculator to solve. It's just 1 mark, so they just need you to have your 1 mark. There is no need for showing your working and all that. Okay, but from like a question like this that you're asked to find the marks and you're given a space for your workers, you have to work out things. But a question like this, you can actually use your calculator and solve. But since here on YouTube, we're going to work out everything so that you know how you can actually be able to solve these problems. All right, so let's look at this next question here. Square root of, this can be written as square root of 54 all over square root of 6, which can give you, you can split this 54 in terms of 6, that will give you 9 times square root of 6. Okay, oh, let me clean that. 9 times square root of 6 all over square root of 6. So that will give you square root of 9 times square root of 6 all over square root of 6. This and this will go. You have square root of 9, which will give you 3. So that will give you 3. Okay, so here we have our percentage increase by max from a previous month. So we are asked to find the mass of the baby after 2 months. So in this question, this baby is 4 kg. After each month, the baby increases by 15% of its previous mass. After the next month, it will increase again by its previous mass. So in this type of question, we call it compound percentage increase. Okay, so we have a method, or we have a kind of formula that we can use and solve. That does not mean that we cannot analytically solve the problem step by step, but we actually have a formula which we can actually use to solve a problem of this nature. Okay, and that is what I'm going to use to solve this particular problem. So the mass is going to, we have a, let me write out the formula. We have it as the original size. Let me use P, okay, into 1 plus the rate over 100, then the number of months or the number of years, depending on the increase that is given to us. So like this one, they say each month, so we count n as number of months. P is the original max in this case, and the rate is the percentage increase per month. So that's the rate here. So if we use that, therefore, we can say that the new max will be equal to 4 into 1 plus R here is 15 over 100. Then since the percentage increase is per month, so we look at the months we have, which is 2. So when you use your calculator to calculate this, you are going to get your answer directly. But let's work that out. That will give us 100 plus 115. So we have 100 plus 15 will give us 115 over 100 all squared. So with your calculator, if you work that out, you are going to have 5.29. Okay, 5.29 kg, of course, is in max. So we'll come here and write 5.29 kg is already here. Now, when I mean solving this step by step analytically, what does that mean? We can actually find the percentage increase each month, okay, and add it to the mass of the baby, okay. Then we'll now come to the second month, do the same thing, that's a kind of doing this whole process in 2 steps because we have 2 months. Now let's work that out and see whether we're going to have the same answer here. So for the first month, okay, we have 15% of 4. That will give us here is 1 and here is 25. 5 here will give us 3. 5 here will give us 5. So we are going to have 3 over 5, which is equal to 0.6. So the first month, there is increment of 0.6 kg. So when you add it to the baby, okay, so mass will now be 4 plus 0.6. That will give us 4.6. That's after the first month, okay. Now, coming to the second month, you now have the same 15% times 4.6, okay. So let's work this one out. 5 here will give us 3. 5 here will give us 20. So if you work this out here, you are going to have 0.69, okay. So the mass after the second month is going to give you the mass after the first month, which is 4.6, plus the increase in mass after the second month, which is 0.69. So that will give you 5.29. So you can do it this way. Let me explain that again. Find the 15% of the first of 4 kg. So that will give you 0.4, which is the mass increase after 1 month. So you add this 0.4 to the original or the previous mass of the baby, which will make the baby to be 4.6 kg. Now, you now also find the 15% increase of this particular mass, which will give you 0.69 kg. So when you add it to the previous mass of the baby at the end of the first month, because this is the second month now, that's how you are going to get 5.29. So that's how to solve that problem, but you can as well master how to use a compound percentage increase. This formula can also be used to solve a problem on compound interest, okay. So it's the same way. You can actually use this to solve compound interest. You can actually use this formula here to solve your compound interest. So we call this type of question compound percentage increase. All right, so let's move to question number 4. In question number 4, it said that in a game, Oliver can either lose or draw or win, okay. So the probability that Oliver loses a game is 50%, okay, and the probability that he drew in the game is 20%. So we have already gotten the percentage of both losing and drawing the game. So this is in percentage. So when you find this percentage, this will give you 0.5 here, and this will give you 0.2 here, okay. And since we have only lose, draw, or win, that means percentage probability of losing plus probability of drawing the game plus probability of winning the game will give you what? 1. So if we are looking for probability of winning the game, we can as well say that 0.5 plus 0.2 plus probability of winning will give you 1. So that will give you that probability of winning is equals to 1 minus 0.5 minus 0.2, which will give you 0.3. So, and 0.3 is the same thing with 30%. So, remember to write your answer at the answer space. So, moving to number 4, Anastasia has 4 pair spinners, okay, A, B, C, D. She spins one of the spinners 120 times and get an even number 486 times, okay. Write down data of the spinner she is mostly likely to use. So this problem is on probability, okay. So I will say probability of even number here. We have how many even number? 2. So that will give us 2 over the total number, which is 4. So 2 over 4 is the same thing with 2 over 4 will give us 1 over 2. So when you multiply 1 over 2 by 120 times, you are probably going to have your 600. So that's I've excluded C. So let's go to the B. B says that probability of the even number there is equal to 1 over 3. And when you multiply 1 over 3 by 120 times, you are going to have 400. Okay. Then for C, probability of even number here is equals to 2 over 3. And when you multiply 2 over 3 by 120 times, you are going to have 3 here, for you're going to have 800. Okay. Then for D, The probability of having an even number here is 2 over 5. And when you multiply 2 over 5 by 120, you are going to have 486. So the letter that she must have spin to get 486, and with this information given to us is D. That's the spinner D. Okay, so let's move to the next one. The next one is a question on functions. Okay, so we are given a function here that y equal to 4x squared. Okay, and this is our x, this is our output. So it's very simple. When x equals to 10, what is going to be your y? So you work it out. 10 squared, 10 squared will give us 4 into 100, which is equals to 400. So you write to 400 here. Then this one, what value of s that will give us 100? So of course there are two values of s that will give us 100. Let's find out. So if we have y equal to 4x squared, when y equals to 100, we have 4x squared. So divide both sides by 4. You're going to have that s squared equals to 100 divided by 4 will give you 25. So what are the two numbers that when they multiply themselves, you get 25? It simply means that s equals to minus 5 or s equals to 5. So what does that mean? Or what is the meaning of what we have written down here? It means that whenever you take square root of a whole number or square root of a number, you're actually going to have two numbers, okay? Positive or negative value, because a negative value times itself will give you a positive number, and a positive value of times itself will also give you a positive number. So we have our 5 and what? Minus 5. Okay, let's move to the next one. That's number 7. Number 7 says that here is a calculation. 1.5 times 1.5 times 28 will give us a over 2 times a over 2 times 28, okay? Which is the same thing with a times b. So we are required to find the value of uh, a and b. So the first thing we have to do here is to these three expressions. So we cannot solve the three at the same time. So all we need to do is to solve two. So I'm going to solve these two first. Okay. So when I'm done with these two, it will help me to get my a. So when I've gotten the value of my a, I can now substitute here and solve and find the value of my b. Okay. So let's do that. So 1.5 times 1.5 times 28 equal to a over 2 times a over 2 times 28. So there's 28 here, there's 28 here, which I can cancel out because 28 can divide both sides of the equations. So it means that I have 1.5 all squared equal to a squared over 4. Okay, a squared over 4. So I can multiply this, okay, or put put 4 in square, or express 4 as a square. So that will give us 1.2 square times 2 square equal to a square. So this is 1.5 times 2 all squared equal to a square. So it simply means that a is equal to 1.5 times 2, and 1.5 times 2 will give you 3. Okay, so I hope you'll be able to see what I did there. So I've gotten my a as 3. So all I need to do is to place my a somewhere and solve for this. Okay, so I'm going to put my a as 3 here and solve for this. So that will give me 3 over 2 times 3 over 2 times 28 equal to a is 3 times 3 times b. So 2 here will go 1, 2 here will give me 14, 2 here will go 1, 2 here will give me 7. Okay, so I have 3 times 3 times 7 equal to 3 times 3 times b. So you can see your 3 times 3, 3 times 3. So it simply means that b equal to 7. So I'll come and have my 7 here. And also remember that whenever you, like what happened in the previous question that we saw, that we take a square root of a number, we have two number of different signs. Okay, so it can also happen here because we took square root of a to get 1.5 times 2, which is 3. We can as well have negative of that, so we can just include our minus 3. Okay, because when you put minus 3 in any of these expressions, you are still going to have your answer to be the same. Okay, so number 8, we are asked to take okay, but let's find out and read the question and know what we are taking on. So Carlos sells previous owned clothes. He will ask his customer one of these questions, A or B. Okay. Question A, on a scale of 1 to 100, what number would you choose to represent the condition of the clothes? A, very poor. They will now have B run to 10, which is excellent. Then he also asks them, which word or words would you choose to represent the condition of the clothes? Very poor, average, and excellent. Okay. Then I said that Carlos wants to work out a mean value to represent the condition of the clothes. Tick to show which question Carlos should ask his customers and the reason why. Question A, because it asks for quantitative data. Okay. Question B, A, because it asks for qualitative data. Question B, because it asks for quantitative data. Question B, because it asks for qualitative data. Okay. Now, when it comes to, you are trying to solve for mean, so you cannot use very poor, average, or excellent as an answer to be able to work out for the mean. Okay. Because when you have numbers, when you have numbers given to you as a response from the customers, it can help you to be able to work out the mean depending on the number of customers that you ask that particular question. So, for this question, the right answer to choose is question A. Okay, and it's a quantitative data. Okay. Okay. So in this particular question, we are going to, they are asking us where is the center of the enlargement. So center of the enlargement is that particular point which does not move when you are enlarging a shape. Okay. So that point that will be a point of reference to make your enlargement, that is the center of the enlargement. And since A is not going to move, that means point A is our center of enlargement. So the answer becomes 2, 2. Okay. In question 10, we have a shape, a cylindric shape that we are asked to find. Okay, we are given the dimension, the radius as 4.1 and the height as 7 cm. So they say that this cylinder is melted and the metal is made into cubes. Okay, the side length of each cube is this. Calculate the whole number of whole cubes that are made. Okay, so first thing is that since this cylinder is going to be melted, you need to find the volume of this particular cylinder. Then we now use it to know the number of cubes that can be made from it. So let's work out for the volume. The volume of a cylinder is equal to the area of the base, which is 2 pi r square times height. Okay, so that will give us 22/7 times the radius of this one is 4.1. So we have 4.1 times 4.1 square times the height. The height is 7. Okay, so we have 7 here. 7 will cancel out 7. So that will give us 22 times 4.14 square. Since we are using calculator, so you can use your calculator to press that, and you are going to have 369.82. 369.82. So in cm cube, so this is the volume of the cylinder when you melt it. Now you are using it to produce or remold it to a cube, and the volume of a cube is equal to L cube, which is equal to 2 cube. That will give you 8. Okay, so how many of 8 are we going to get in this? Okay, so we say that therefore the number of cubes equal to 369.82 over 8. So that will give us 46.2275. But in this question, they are asking for whole cube. It means that the number of a complete cube, you can see that we don't have a complete cube after 46 cubes. Okay, we're going to have a little of the metals remaining, which will not be able to help us to get a cube of 2 cm length. So for our answer, we are going to have it as what? 46, because that's the number of a whole cube that will be produced. Okay, we have a question on pie chart. It says a pie chart shows the information about different sizes of pizzas sold in a restaurant. Okay, so we have different, of course, meat pizza, 40 degrees, tomato pizza, 150 degrees, vegetable pizza, 110 degrees, and cheese pizza, 60 degrees. Okay, they now say that a total of 324 pizzas were sold. Mia says 20 more cheese pizzas are sold than meat pizza. Okay, tick to show if Mia is correct or not correct. You must show your working. Okay, so if from the information given to us, we are going to find out if that's true. So we need to calculate the number of meat pizzas that was produced or that was sold, sorry, and we also have to calculate the number of cheese pizzas that was sold. So since we have total of number of pizzas sold that particular day, so what is the degree for meat? That's 40 degrees. So we are going to have 40 over 360 degrees times the total number of pizzas sold that particular day. So that will give us 36. Okay. Then coming to cheese, 60 degrees over 360 times 324. So that will give 54 pizzas. Okay. So this is the pizzas that was sold for the meat pizza, and this for cheese. Okay, so if you subtract 54 minus 36, that will give us, we have 8 here, we have 18. So they say that 20 more cheese pizza were sold more than meat pizza. Okay, so you can see that we have 18 there instead of 20. So the information is not correct. Moving on to the next question. So this is a right angle triangle. And from what I can see immediately is that we have YCM here, YCM here, Y right angle triangle, and also an isosceles triangle, because this part here and here are equal. Okay, so let us see what we are asked to do. They say find an expression in terms of y for the area of the triangle. Okay, so area of a triangle, 1 over 2 times base times height. Okay, so that will give us 1 over 2 times y times y. That will give us y squared over 2. So in terms of y, we are going to have 1 over 2 y squared, or you can just write your y squared over 2, whichever one that you decide to write. A polygon has 7 sides. The size of the 6 largest interior angles of the polygon add up to 855. Calculate the size of the small. So first of all, find the total sum of the interior angles of the polygon. Then you subtract by the 6. Then the remaining is the smallest interior angle. So let's find out the sum of the total interior angles of a polygon. So we have the sum of interior angle equals to n minus 2 80 degrees, where n is number of sides of the polygon. Okay, so in this case, we are going to have 7 minus 2 times 180, which is equals to 5 times 180. 5 times 180 will give us 900. Okay, so all we need to do is to say 900 minus 855. So that will give us 40. Okay, so come here and okay, question 14 is a simple equation. So all we need to do here is to make this a fraction so that we can be able to cross and multiply, or you find we cross and multiply. I think that will go a long way in solving that problem. So we have 8 into y plus 1 equal to 56. So divide both sides by 8, divide here by 8. This and this will go and have y plus 1 equal to 56 divided by 8. That will give us 7. So take your 1 over to this place. We have y equals to 7 minus 1. So that will give us 6. I'll write my 6 here. So move to question 15. Question 15 is we have a problem on exchange rates, which is also a proportional question. So So we know that here is our X and here is our Y. So what it simply means is that when you have 25 US dollars is the same thing with 3,300 yens. Okay, so moving down, you will notice that we are asked to find the value of yen, or that will give us, or that will be in the same exchange to $40. So we're going to use this, what we have here, okay, to solve that problem. So that will give us, we have 25 to give us 3300. So when you now have 40, you now call it X, okay. So this is a proportional problem, cross and multiply. So 25 times S equals to 40 times 3300. So when you divide by 25 here, you divide by 25 here. This here will give you 1. This here will give you 1. So you have S equals to, when you do this calculation, you have 5 here, 5, 5 here, 8. So you can say your 8 times 3300, which is 3,300, and divide by 5. You are going to have 5,200, 280. Okay, so you write your answer here, 5,280. Remember, this paper is a paper that allows the use of calculator. So please make use of calculator wherever that you need to. Okay, so moving on, question number 16 is on transformation. Okay. Okay, so in this question, we have that a triangle ABC is translated by a vector 2 and 1. Remember, in translation, when you have 2 here, this positive 2, so it simply means that on the horizontal axis, it moves 2, okay, and on the vertical axis, which is where you have your Y, it moved 1, okay, to make this triangle DEF. Then the triangle DEF is translated by the vector minus 3 and 7. So what does that mean to have vector minus 3 and 7? It simply means that it moved towards the left 3 times. Remember, it have moved twice, so it now moved towards the right. That's positive. That is now moving 3 times towards the left. So if something have moved twice towards the right and now move back 3 times towards the left. So if we started from here, 0, that means the person have made total of -1 movement. Okay, and for the y-axis, the person made 1 movement, okay, 1 step, then make another 7 steps, which is total of 8 steps. Okay, so the total transformation that was made there, you can just add them up. That's another way to do it. 2, 1 plus -3, 7. So that will give you -1, 8. So this is the total transformation that was made. So asking you for a single transformation of the that maps triangle ABC onto triangle GHI. So you can say is transformation or translation, sorry, translation by the vector -1 and 8. Okay, so you can give this answer. That's the single transformation that maps triangle ABC onto triangle G, H, and I. Okay, so let's move to the next question that we have. So we are asked to, in construction, what have happened? So let's see the question. They say that Rajiv, okay, Rajiv bisects an angle. Here is his construction. Okay, they say that there are arcs missing from this construction. That's right. Construct the missing arc accurately on the diagram. Now, with your compass, you can use your compass to do this very well. What you need to do is to put your compass, the center of your compass. When we say the center of a compass, it simply means the pin mouth, okay, the part that has a pin on your compass, okay. When you place it here, let's call it A, then you're going to make an arc. That arc is going to look like this, okay. Then you put the center, which is the pin mouth of the compass, at point, let's call it B, and make another arc. Okay, so this is what you're going to look like, and this is what is required of you to make. Okay, so with your compass on your paper, you can actually do that correctly. All right, so moving to question 18. Question 18 is a question on ratio. So we are given that the ratio of the size of angles in a triangle is 583. So they say you should take to show if the triangle is a right angle or not a right angle. Now, what are the properties, or what makes a triangle a right angle or not a right angle if one of the angles equal to 180 degrees? So all we need to do is to find out if any of these angles will give you 90 degrees. Of course, that's 90 degrees that will make it to be a right angle triangle if one of the angles equal to 90 degrees. Okay, let's solve that. So 5 plus 8 plus 3, that will give us 5 plus 8 will give us 13. 13 plus 3 will give us 16. Okay, therefore 180 divided by 16. So we are trying to find the value of one of the angle, or one portion of the ratio, the angle that will be there. So we can now use it and find out if we are going to get one we are going to get 90 degrees. So 180 divided by 15, oh 16, not 15, sorry about that. 180 divided by 16, that will give you 11.25. Okay, so 11.25 is one share here. So for 5, all you need to do is to multiply 11.25 times 5. So that will give you 56. So the first one, let's write it here, 5 ratio 8 ratio 3. So this will give us 56.25. Then we also get the value for the 8 portions. This one will give us 90. Then we also get the value for the 3. That will give us 38.75. So since we have one of the ratios to give us 90 degrees, it simply means that that is a right angled triangle. Okay, is a right angled triangle. Now the next, okay, so the next question we have here is a question on simple graph of a simple equation. That's a linear graph. So we are asked to draw the graph of that. So first thing to do here is to complete the table. So how can we complete the table? The best thing to do is to make y subset of the formula. That will make the work a little bit easier. Okay, so if I have 3y equals to 60 minus 5x, then divide both sides by 3. I'll have that 3y over 3 equals to 60 minus 5x over 3. So that will give us that y equals to 60 minus 5x all over 3. So with this now, we can easily find the values of the missing numbers. So when s equal to 0, this one will go. We have 60 over 3, so that will give us 20. When s equals to 6, when you put 6 here, you're going to have 5 times 6, that will give you 30. 60 minus 30, that will give you 30. 30 divided by 3, that will give you 10. Okay, then what is going to be uh, the value of x when y equals to 0? We can actually do that here and say that 3 into 0 equals to 5. Okay, plus 5x equals to 60. So this will go. I'll have that x equals to 60 over 5, which will give us 4. Okay, so we have 12 here. So with this now, we can come down here and plot our graph. Okay, so when s is 0, y is 20. That is this point on the axis of y. And when s is equal to 6, y is 10. So this is 6 here, raise it to get to 10. And when y is 0, s is what? 12, so which is here. So all we need to do is to use our straight ruler to join the points that have been created. So I'm going to use my straight ruler to do that now. Okay, so using my straight ruler, I have done that. Okay, so that's all for that question. So just to join the points that you have located from your table. So that's how to solve that. Okay. All right. So moving on, that's a question on semicircle. Okay. So you are given a diagram. So they say that the diagram shows a semicircle with radius 3 cm. Tick to show the area of the semicircle is correct to the nearest cm. So all we need to do is to solve. Area of a semicircle will give you pi r squared over 2. Okay. So that will give you 2 over 7 times 3 squared all over 2, which will give you 11 over 7 times 9. That will give you 99 over 7. Okay, 99 over 7. So do you have anyone there that is equivalent to 99 over 7? So the closest value we have there is 14 cm. They say to the nearest cm. So that's correct there because this 99 over 7 will give us 14.143. So the closest is, or the nearest in cm is uh, 14 cm. Okay. So moving to the next question. In this question, you will notice that there is a constant increase in 5 on the y values at every one increase in x. So from 5 to 6 is just one increase, and we have 27 to 32. So as we have from 6 to 7, we have 32 to 37, which is 5. And from 7 to um, 11, that's about 4 points increase. And that 4 point means that we also have 20, which is 5 times 20, 5 times 4, which is 20. Then here we have 30, 11 to 14, which is about 12, 13, 14, about 3 increase. That means we're going to have about 5 times 3. So that will give us 57 plus 5 times 3. So 7 plus 15, which will give us 72. So what we have as our answer is going to give us 72. So fill it up here. Okay, so we'll move to the next question. The next question is an inequality. We are given an inequality to solve. So let's quickly do that. So from here we have 2x less than or equals to 16 minus 20. So that will give us that 2x is less than or equals to minus 4. So divide by 2 both sides, less than or equals to minus 4 over 2. This and this will go. We have x less than or equals to minus. So we write our answer less than or equals to. All right, so the next one is that we have to expand and simplify. So let's expand this. That will give us x squared. X times 4 will give us plus 4x. Then open this bracket plus. Let's open a bigger bracket to use and open this one. This and this will give us x squared. This and this will give us plus 5x. This and this will give us minus 3x. This and this will give us minus. Okay, so that will give us x squared plus 4x plus x squared. These two here will give us plus 2x, and this one here will give us. So we are done expanding. The next thing to do is to simplify. So let's simplify. X squared will give us 2 2x squared. Then this and this will give us plus 6x. Then we now have minus. Okay, so you can come here and write your answer. 2x squared plus 6x. Okay, so that's how to solve that particular problem. Then moving on to number 24. Temperature is measured in degrees Celsius and in degree Fahrenheit. The formula this is used to convert C to F. Okay. The approximate formula F equals to 2C plus 30 is also used to convert C to F. Okay. Mike says there is a value of C where these two formulas give an equal value of X. They say find the value of C to show that Mike is correct. So if the two formulas are the same for a certain value of C, that means we need to find the value of C by equating the two formulas. So what are the two formulas? The two formulas are 9C over 5 plus 32 will be equal to 2C plus 30. So collect like this move here, this goes there. We have 9C over 4. I have 9C over 5 minus 2C equal to 30 minus 32. So when you work this out, you have 9C minus 10C over 5 equals to minus 2. So you can collect like terms. You're going to have minus C equals to this times this. Then you make this one over 1. You have minus 10. So if minus C equals to minus 10, therefore C equals 10, you can have it as 10 degrees Celsius. So at 10 degrees Celsius, the two formulas will give us the same value. Okay, in the next question we have is a question on tree diagram in probability. So Safia has 2 bags of sweets. Each bag contains red sweets and green sweets only. Okay, she takes 1 sweet at random from each bag. The probability that she takes a red sweet from the first bag is 0.3, while the probability that she takes a red sweet from both bags is 0.12. Okay, so we have a probability here. So this is the probability of getting a red is this, of getting this one from both bags. Okay, so this is the first bag, this is the second bag. So we need to find the value of this here, find the value of this. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Remember, since we have just two colors, that means for this one, okay, for this one here, we are going to start from here. For this one here, the total sum of the probability here is going to be 1. So this plus this will give us 1. So if this plus this will give us 1, it simply means that here will give us 0.7. Okay, so the total will give us 0.2. How do we get that? It simply means that let's call here A. So we're going to find the value of that A. Probably we need to stick in the A. So it simply means that 0.3 times A will give us 0.12. That means A is equal to 0.12 over 0.3. So let's work that out. 0.12 divided by 0.3. So that will give us 0.4. So here we have 0.4. So we can print that and have 0.4. Okay, so if it's 0.4, it simply means that here will give you 0.6. Remember, the sum of the two will always give us what? 1. For this other part, we have already worked out the probability of getting a red from the second bag. So that probability is still the same thing. Okay, so the probability of getting a red is what? 0.4, and the probability of getting a green is what? 0.6. Okay, so that's what we have there. Then on the next question, so this is a shape. We are given a shape, and we are told that in this shape, we are trying to find the total cost. Okay, okay. So for you to find the total cost, you have to first of all find the perimeter of this shape. That will help you to find the total cost. Okay, so there is a portion of this shape that is not given to us, which is here from this point to this point. And what can we do is to join a line here. Okay, so if here is 20, here is 8, it simply means that here is 12. So if I have that as 12, then I need to find the value of this place. Okay, so they say that let's read the question to understand fully what we are required to do. The diagram shows a garden in the shape of a hexagon. Okay, of course, an irregular hexagon. Eva builds a fence along all 6 sides of the garden. The fence costs $25 per meter. Calculate the total cost of the fence. So we need to first of all find the perimeter of the shape and use it and find the total cost. Okay. All right. So of course, like I said before, you cannot find the perimeter if you don't know the value of x here. We need to find the value of s using Pythagoras theorem. S is our hypotenuse side. So we say that x squared equals to 12 squared plus 9 squared. So that will give us that s equal to square root of 144 plus 81. So that will give us square root of 144, 144 plus 81. That will give us 225, which when you take square root of 225, we have it as 15. Okay, so x is 15 there. So let's add this 15. Therefore, the perimeter is equal to we have 16 plus 20 plus 16 again plus 8 plus 9 then plus 15. So let's find out what that will give us. Okay, so that will give us 84 meters. So we have 84 meters, and if 1 meter costs about 20, let's be sure $23. Therefore, 84 meters will cost 23 times 84. 23 times 84 will give us 1,000. 1900. So let's erase that. 932 in dollars. Okay, so we'll come here and write our 1932 as our answer. Okay, so that's the last question on our Cambridge checkpoint of April 2024. So please subscribe to our channel, and please share our videos to your friends in school, uh, to a fellow parent that the child might need what we are doing on this channel.